This bill is called the Economic Growth, Regulatory Reform, and Consumer Protection Act, and all three of those are critical parts of it. It is not just a reg reform bill, it's a bill that focuses on a significant efforts to try to grow capital formation, to increase access to credit, to increase the ability for small businesses to grow and to establish themselves, and to allow individuals to have a smoother pathway toward their own efforts to either buy a home or have an addition to their home or engage in some other important thing to them by getting better access to credit and available capital. This bill focuses on the smaller financial institutions in America. I know a lot of the attack is that this is going to roll back the regulatory protections that were put into place to deal with abuses on Wall Street. There is very, very little in this bill that reaches to the mega banks or the bigger banks. And in fact, the primary focus is on credit unions and community banks and the smaller tier of our regional banks. Again, it addresses the fact that many of us have talked about for years, and that is that although our regulatory system today was passed and enacted in terms of alleging that it was to address the abuses on Wall Street, many of the targets and recipients of the impact of the bill, of the regulatory system, were smaller banks and credit unions and the like that did not have the capacity to deal with it, and in fact did not present either the business models or the risk models that they were required to deal with on a regulatory basis. And so this bill seeks to right-size the regulatory system in our country and to allow our community banks and credit unions to flourish, and by doing so to provide the necessary and appropriate access to capital and to credit that the people who live in our communities should have.